Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. Double honors to the elders, elder apostles, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well. And shalom to the prophets of that body. And shalom to the 144,001 third. May peace and blessings be upon you and your households as we approach the end. Right? I was just, reading First Kings as I got up this early hours, and that's highlighting, the split between the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom, right? I believe Rehoboam was the Southern Kingdom, and Rehoboam was a Southern Kingdom, and Jeroboam was the Northern Kingdom. Okay, and Northern Kingdom went off completely, worshiping idols, worshipping statues, going astray from Yahweh Bashem Yashai, not even taking heed, right? Building groves and idols and statues, that are against the scriptures, that are against our ways, okay, our cultural and so-called religious practices, okay, if you want to use those terms, all right. Because the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yashai said, if you do this, that, and the third, you'll get blessed. All right. We see the blessings and the curses mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy. And when we went off, the Lord, whooped ass. The way a father who's displeased or who's not pleased with his children. If you go against your earthly father, wouldn't your earthly father give you a can of whoop ass? And how much more our Father in heaven, right? 1 Peter 4:17, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of Yahweh Bahashem Yashai, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? Okay? What's the end going to be of them? And let's just go to, I've got an AI breakdown, just a sort of like a synopsis, because after I read a chapter and a verse, I always go to, you know, a little bit more of an intricate breakdown. See, what's, what the chapter, certain specific meanings of words and what this is about, what that is about, For example, I was checking out this morning when I was reading the term pisseth against the wall that was utilized at that time to differentiate between man and woman, because it's usually men that stand up to urinate against a wall, right? Things like that, for example. Okay, because that's mentioned quite a few times. All right. Now, all right, here. What was a curse prophecy regarding the northern kingdom of Israel and all the kings? The curse and prophecy regarding the northern kingdom of Israel and its kings revolves around a devastating pattern of total bloodline annihilation and national exile. Because the kings of the northern kingdom repeatedly abandoned the Most High for idolatry. Okay, you see these dumbasses to this day worshiping everything, probably more than likely a damn near a Barbie doll as well, right? You see them do that, all right? I mean, that's with the Southern Kingdom too, if to a certain degree, like especially the Italians, the Sicilians, who are mainly Southern Kingdom, all right? They do that Catholicism nonsense too, all right? And I believe in Venezuela, because I know somebody that, Jake, that lives up there, right? And they take the whole damn month of December off to celebrate Christmas. That's a big deal over there. Okay? I mean, like, they probably got statues of Caesar Borgia. You see how demonic those statues are, man. So-called Mother Mary, an Edomite version, and they got candles around her and shit. You look at that shit, it's kind of freaky looking. Up until this day, these damn idiots are doing the same shit. That's why the Lord is just pissed off with them, man. Pissed off. All right, Esau Edom's giving you certain numbers online about how many people are deleted and how many people are missing. But those numbers are sort of like compressed. I use that term. There's way, way, way more. All right. But they're just trying to downplay the devastation. All right. So people don't get freaked out. But it's definitely devastation. All right. Where even if Esau's using his harp machine, which is, they got the technology on the left hand side because they're the sword of Yahweh Shemashah on the left hand side, because that's how Esau got hold of the world through his sword and his weaponry, right? Because that's their blessing. Okay. And the harp machine is just another sword where they control the weather and make certain things happen. Okay. But it's all Yahweh Shemashah because the Lord gave him the technology. The Lord lets him do it. All right. So because the kings of the northern kingdom repeatedly abandoned the Most High for idolatry, a specific horrifying divine curse was pronounced upon multiple royal dynasties, culminating in a final prophetic curse upon the entire nation. All right? That's why the northern kingdom is getting jacked up. All right? Because if you think about it, they're the 10 tribes or 9 tribes, right? And they're very numerous, the northern kingdom. Each Jake family, on average, has at least 3 to 4 children. All right. All right. It's shit, even more probably. Okay. And don't they always make jokes about how many Puerto Ricans you can get into a car, whatever, all these kinds of things, right? That's because Jake is deep like that. The standard dynasty curse, total household extermination. The baseline curse for the wicked kings of Israel was first pronounced by the prophet Ahijah against King Jeroboam. All right. 1 Kings chapter 14, verses 10 to 11. And it was subsequently repeated by the prophet Jehu against King Baasha. 1 Kings chapter 16, verses 3 to 4. Okay. The King James version outlines this curse with 2 brutal mandates. The obliteration of the bloodline. The Most High, Yahweh Shemashai, promised to cut off every single male from the king's household, bond or free, leaving absolutely no heirs or survivors. 1 Kings 14, chapter 14, verse 10, the text describes sweeping the royal house away as a man taketh away dung till it be all gone. All right? The denial of burial. Yes, read it. The denial of burial, the body curse. To be left unburied was the ultimate disgrace in the ancient world. The curse dictated exactly how the bodies of the royal family would be desecrated. 1 Kings 16:4. Him that dieth of Baasha or Jeroboam in the city shall the dogs eat, and him that dieth of his in the fields shall the fowls of the air eat. Okay? The historical result. This curse was executed flawlessly. Zimri wiped out Baasha's entire family, down to his distant friends, 1 Kings 16:11, and later Jehu orchestrated the slaughter of all 70 of Ahab's sons, leaving their heads in piles at the city gate. All right? The curse prophecy on the nation of Israel, northern kingdom, right? The kings led the people into sin. And to this day, they're still into sin. But these dumbasses, especially Northern Kingdom, do not know. You tell them that they're an Israelite, they ain't gonna believe you. They actually believe that they're Spanish. Some of them actually believe that their forefathers came from Spain and they settled in in America. And some of them actually did. But nevertheless, there are Jakes everywhere. All right. It was a triangular slave trade. A lot of the Northern Kingdom were taken into slaves first prior to the Southern Kingdom coming to the Americas. They were taken to Spain and other parts of the world. All right. The kings led the people into sin, so the curse eventually expanded from palace walls to the entire northern kingdom. Through the prophet Ahijah, the Most High issued a severe prophecy foretelling the absolute destruction of the nation. 1 Kings 14, verses 15 to 16. The instability curse. The Most High declared he would smite Israel as a reed is shaken in the water. 1 Kings chapter 14, verse 15. This perfectly predicted the political chaos of the northern kingdom, which suffered constant coups, assassinations, and civil wars. 1 Kings 16, verses 15 to 22. The exile and captivity curse. The Most High promised to root up Israel out of the promised land and scatter them beyond the river Euphrates because of their pagan idols. 1 Kings 14:15, 1 Kings 14:16. All right? The historical result. This fulfilled in 1722 BC, 2 Kings 17, 2 Kings 17 and 6. The Assyrian Empire invaded Samaria, conquered the northern kingdom, and forcefully deported the 10 tribes. 2 Kings 17, verse 6. They became known historically as the lost tribes of Israel, completely fulfilling the prophecy spoken centuries prior. Well, all the tribes, all 12 tribes are lost, okay? But this is just focusing on the northern kingdom, all right? And look at Caracas today. I'm going to go to an Indian website because this is just, I read 2 Peter 3 and 10, right? The judgment must begin at the house of the Lord. All right, now check this out. This is India today, 1st of July, right? Caracas sky turns blood red days after deadly Venezuela earthquakes. Know why? Okay? I mean, that's that's like something imminent is coming in it, right? That something is warming up, you know? Like the Lord is just returning any second, which is, with the Lord is returning any minute. Obviously, a couple more prophecies to go. The Lord is returning soon. Okay? Blood red sky. More blood required. Okay? Does that look like a good sign to you? Caracas sky turned a fierce blood red 6 days after Venezuela's deadly earthquakes, alarming residents already reeling from disaster. Know the science behind this striking phenomenon. Okay. The sky over Caracas turned an intense red on the evening of June the 30th, 6 days after Venezuela's twin earthquakes. The sky over Caracas turned the color of a wound on Tuesday evening. Not pink, not gold, but a deep, angry red that hung over rooftops already cracked from an earthquake 6 days earlier. Okay, that's the Lord is letting this happen. Yahweh Shemeshai. Okay, the Lord controls all, right? Isaiah 45 verse 7. The Lord controls the right hand side and the left hand side. The Lord controls all. Man's goings are of the Lord. Everything is controlled by Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord is vexed. Does it look like a blue sky and a sunny day? Everything's going to be hunky dory? No. The Lord ain't done yet. There's going to be more destruction. Videos flooded social media within minutes. Some called it a miracle. Others called it a warning. It was neither. All right. Sunlight looks white, but it's actually a mix of it. Okay, we don't hear the scientific shit about behind it. We know it's all spiritual. Everything is spiritual. Okay. All right. That looks like, something is imminent. All right. Something is imminent. The moon turning to blood. We've already seen that. Okay. This is just another sign that the Lord ain't done yet. All right. And this is kind of like a haunting look, right? Something related to the nukes. Obviously, the nukes ain't going to hit South America. It's going to hit mainland USA, the states, United States of America. But this is just a haunting look, right? Because the Lord did say judgment is going to begin with his own. The 2/3 of the unelect Jakes are going to get it. And obviously, there's heathens that live there too, Edomites that look like Jake. Edomites, you got Amalekites with Spanish surnames that change their surnames. You got other nations there. You got Gooks living there. You got Elam living there. You got every nation living there. All right. But this is just, the Lord ain't done yet. And things, listen, and July the 4th is on Saturday this week. Right? In America, I believe they're going to have July the 3rd off. So it's going to be a long weekend. Let's see what the Lord Yahweh Shemeshah has planned. Okay? Let's go to the verse of the day. Okay. Second Chronicles 15, verse 7. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. All right. You elect out there. All right. Whoever you are, whatever your position is, we are a one body, right? Everyone is not going to have the same position. Everyone's not going to have the same title. Everyone's not going to have the same, the same, what's to say this, the same work remit. Everyone's not going to do the same thing because the body has different functions. Okay. All right. Some of us make videos. Some of our great prophets are in the front line, in the trenches, and making videos. Okay. Whatever your calling is in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai, you know when the Lord is calling you to do these things, right? Okay. It's like a pull, like a magnet. And it's not for nothing to do, nothing wicked. It's the Lord is saying, do some reading, learn, ask questions. The tools are there. Ask the prophets. Okay, do some reading, make a video, whatever your calling is in this truth. Okay, because remember, everybody doesn't have the same position. Okay, you learn and then you pass it on. As they say, each one teach one. I believe that's the saying is the Jake's saying, each one teach one. Right? That's what you do. Whether it's one person watching in the world and you get one thumb up, but you don't get no thumbs up, it doesn't matter. It's all being recorded. The Lord knows you're doing your part. And this is all for what? For your benefit. And you know it feels right in the spirit. You know you don't, for example, when you wake up in the morning, you don't pray. Okay? I don't do that, of course, because there's no way I'm leaving the house without praying. There's no way I'm starting the day without my prayer. You know what I'm saying? I'm no, 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 no. If you're in a rush, you do a quick prayer, but there's no way. Okay? You need that protection of Yahweh Shem Shai. You got to do what you got to do so you feel right. Now, if you look at a lot of our apostles and teachers, right? Let's go to one of our elders, right? Apostle Rakaya Allah, right? If you watch some of his videos, he always says, I'm about to go out, but I need to make a quick video before I go. And the elder will make a video of maybe, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes, half an hour, make a beautiful video, curse a bunch of heathens out, right? And you get edified in the scriptures and the knowledge and the history and the prophecies and all those beautiful things within our scriptures in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. You get edified. The elder, feels that he's done his part, prior to leaving the house. It's like you got to do these things. It's that calling that you have to do, right? So whatever you do, Jake, just do it. You Jakes are going to be okay. It's going to get really bumpy out here, okay? And I keep meditating upon that and asking the Lord to give me the spiritual endurance and the mentality to deal with what's about to come on this earth. But the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is going to give that to his elect when the time comes. Okay, as Elder Yasha Wamba, one of my favorite teachers, right, of GMS Dallas would say, you're going to go from glory to glory. And we can already see that within ourselves, okay? Every person, every Jake isn't the same, but we can see our growth spiritually, our mentality, the things that we go through, the purification process, okay? So it's going to get bad out here. And the Lord is showing the signs already. And judgment is beginning with our people. And it's going to get expanded. We've seen a whole bunch of shit go off with certain camps. A lot of them have been found out to be sodomites, peggers, that they don't take care of the responsibilities. They wear fringes, even in the house with designer jeans, but they can't take care of their wife. The Lord has given them an attractive wife. All due respect, I'm being respectful, but I'm just saying the sister was a nice looking lady, right? He's got children with her, right? This dumbass doesn't even take care of his own seed or his seeds, You know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say no more. All right. Formerly known as Genesis. I think they're called Genesis. Whatever they're called, right? It's formerly Sakari, all right? IUIC is being found out. ISUPK is falling by the wayside. All right? The Lord is sifting, man. Okay? And when judgment comes, okay, it's going to be on the front page, so to speak. We're going to see it because a lot of these people, even like Vocab, for example, has disrespected the Lord, the Lord's name, disrespected the prophets online in front of the whole world. So therefore his deletion will be the same way. All right. But you Jakes are going to be okay. Whatever your position is in righteousness and the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yeshua, play it, man. All right. Because we can see judgment going out and it's not going to stop. Okay. That's why the Lord did say he's going to speed up the time for the elect's sake. Otherwise, no flesh is going to be saved. And we feel fucked up every day when we get up. We feel tired and drained and body aches and pains and shit. You know? But your mind is focused on the prophecies. I can't even watch a damn movie. Just relaxed. Because my mind is just focused on getting the fuck out of here. My mind, I just can't focus on anything else but the destruction of this place. Obviously, you have your downtime and you try and watch, things here and there. But it's, everyone's mentality is different. Okay? So, watch out. Be careful. Okay, be circumspect for the days are evil, loosely paraphrasing the scripture. It's going to get worse. All right, and the Lord is giving you the signs. The prophets are, the Yahweh Hashem Yeshua is speaking via his prophets. So I urge you to take heed. And also, you better get this bread while it's warm because the prophets are going to be taken off the streets very soon. Okay, things are moving, things are happening, the Lord is working. All right, I'm going to leave it there now. All praises, honor, glory, and blessings and power be to Yahweh Bashem Yeshai, Bashem Kodash. And listen, the Lord mentioned the destruction of the northern kingdom. They're not going to be all destroyed, of course. A good portion of them are going to be kept, but the 2/3 and the unelect are going to be taken out wherever they are. The 2/3, obviously, ground zero America. The unelect, around the rest of the world, and it's going to be humongous amounts. All right, because they have not stopped the idolatry to this day. All right. Okay. And you southern kingdom are going to get it too. But the elect are good. Because the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yeshua said that you can't pluck the elect out of his hand. Loosely paraphrasing the scripture. All right. I'm going to leave it there now. All praises and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yeshua, Bashem Rakak Kodash, Moathabad Babal, Kwam Yeshua, Shalom.